You may be wondering what kind of tech software company you want to work for. I've worked for both enterprise legacy companies and for young, popular startups, and I can tell you the pros and cons. Enterprise legacy companies are bureaucratic and slow. They can be frustrating. The pay is often not as adventurous as a startup is. They are bogged down by rules and procedures and managers. There's also some great benefits to working at enterprise legacy companies. They often give you the opportunity to break into a market, to get training, to learn how to actually sell. Most startups today have no idea. They have no sales training, and a lot of the managers, I've had managers at young software companies that have no idea about the art of selling. Selling is an art that you study, that is hundreds of thousands of years old. And there are lessons that can be learned. There's training that you can do to become a better salesperson. A lot of the younger startups, they don't know how to do classical sales training. But there are tons of benefits to these young, vibrant startups. For example, in the young startups, you have tracks to be promoted a lot faster. The products are a lot more exciting as long as you have product market fit. As long as the startup is developed enough that somebody wants to buy your product at all. There's much more, the opportunity for much more adventurous growth. But I will say, probably 95 times out of 100, if you're working at a Series A startup or a Series B startup, it probably will go bankrupt. And so you shouldn't bet a lot of money on those stock options. What I've found is a Goldilocks zone in startups, typically, which is that if it's a Series D or after, they've raised at least A, B, C, D, 4 rounds of funding or more, then it has a much more developed product. They have some roadmaps, but there's still a lot of freedom. They're still freed up from a lot of bureaucracy. All of that to say, there are actually big benefits to working at all sorts of these companies in different capacities. And if you're young, you shouldn't pigeonhole yourself and say that you're not willing to work for some kind of tech sales company just because of its size or age. What you should focus on is whether or not you can get the experience necessary to move to the next stage in your career, because you want to have more than a job. You want to have a successful career. So that's how you should think about each position that you take. And if you want our help doing this, we help people with this all the time at techsalesmentors.com.